Right, I've been shopping this week on eBay and we've got the other half of the handbrake cable which I need for the Nova. The first one got lost. A front brake hose, no, that's a rear brake hose. Two front brake hoses for the Cavalier. An auxiliary fuel pump because that other one burned out for the extra fuel tank. Set of rear brake pads. An oil temp sender for the Nova and 3 air filters for the Cavalier, so that'll keep it going for ages. So my first task today, or only task because I don't have that much time, is getting this handbrake cable on the Nova, I guess. Okay, so that's the cable connected to the metal connector, and I'm going to connect that up at the front, and then these bits go inside the drum and go in the levers either side. There we go, new shiny drums are installed with new bearings. I didn't video doing the bearings because somebody complained the last time, so I just did them exactly the same way as I've always done them, but I'm just not showing you due to complaints. Haha. I'm going to go for my dinner and then I'm going to come back down and fit that oil pressure switch and we'll see if I can get the clocks working. Right, this is our oil pressure switch, which is designed to work with a gauge. Calibras had these because they had the gauges in the centre of the dash, so they're quite easy to get a hold of. The oil pressure switch is located up here. There it is. It's a 24 on the single terminal one and a 19 on this double terminal one, so I'll just swap these over just now, but I'll put a wire on it first because we need to run the separate wire up to the back of the clocks, which is what that terminal is sticking on the side of it just now. Beautiful, okay. It's not wired, but okay, yeah, that's tight on there now, so now I'll go and swap these over. Obviously I've got a big bit of wire on this at the moment, but I'll go and route that and then hide it. Okay, so that's our oil pressure sender fitted, and I've got the extra wire run which I've spliced into a bit of trunking in the main loom and just pushed it through the main grommet which goes inside the car, so we'll pick the wire up inside of there so it's ready for the dash clocks. Okay, so I've got 2 wires for the engine management light bulb, 1 for the rev counter and 1 for the oil pressure switch. Because I'll now install these. Ta-da! Super expensive and rare 6-dial SR clocks. Which is why we haven't fitted them yet, because you can't really be pushing them in and out the dash because the printed circuit board on the back falls to bits. So we'll just see if they work all right before shoving them in. So that's connected at the back. Engine management, it's not going to be the engine management light, but we're just going to use it for that. Oil pressure for the gauge and rev counter on there. So let's plug the main thing in and see what happens. These clocks are not happy. The fuel gauge isn't working, the oil pressure's not working, but I can see it's got a broken track on it there. It's not particularly happy. It's got a few loose connections in it. I think for the moment I'll maybe just fit the single speedometer ones and see about getting these repaired, because that's going to stop the oil pressure working, but we also don't have a fuel gauge, which isn't ideal either, so we'll probably just do that to be on the safe side and get it moving. Okay, so in the interests of simplicity for the moment, we're just fitting the basic Nova clocks because the fuel gauge works and so does everything else. We're going to get those other ones, these very delicate old SR ones, taken away and checked out to make sure that they're working okay, because the fuel gauge isn't working, the oil pressure's not working, it's got a burnt track bit at the back, so it would be nice to have them for the moment, but Safety first, we don't want to break them, we don't want to set anything on fire down the back of the dash by shorting out, because they're just so temperamental, so these ones can get fitted instead for now. Base spec clock installation complete for now. That'll do. That'll do now. So next thing I've just noticed is that we don't get any proper throttle on it because it's not got the right throttle cable. Somebody at some point has got a throttle cable off of us for something, and this is the wrong one. I think this is off a 2 litre. So what I've done is moved it back so it's only held on with one bolt at the moment. So it actually gives the throttle cable the proper bit of tension, which we'll just have to do for the now. It would be quite nice to get it moving and see what it's going to do. Then we can snag on these various things in due course. The side repeaters are being awkward. We've got broken ones, and we're trying to get the side repeater on with a rubber gasket and get it all neat, and it's just not. Nothing's having it. That should just, if it's in the little notches, you should just turn on that. There'll be 2 wee bits, wee marked bits on it. Aye, and it twists on them. That's it. It'll twist clockwise, aye. That it should do. Right, that's it. That's it on now. If we push that through, that should be it. Nicely installed. If you're wondering why we're putting side repeaters on an air edge car, it's because these are genuine Vauxhall wings off a GTE. So it's having side repeaters even though it's an air edge. Lovely. Okay, well that's one on. I'll run the wires to it now. Yeah, see, because these aren't the correct side repeaters for a Nova, it's got this little bit at the top, which I need to go and remove with the die grinder because it won't sit, because there isn't that little slot in the wing. So that'll take about 2 seconds. Die grindering coming up. That will now fit flush against the Nova wing. Top notch adaptions here. Customization shit. Fire the wires in, and then through. There we go. Now mind you need to put you got the lens to go in that. I've got no lens now. Indicator test, seeing as we had no indicators at all, we've now got 6 indicators. Oh, look at that! Okay, success on one side. Don't know why I'm so pleased with myself. I've wired a set of side repeaters in. Hey, but I am. Next thing I'm doing is, this is a cone filter that I bought and I did in the Cavalier for a very short period of time, which has been stylishly fitted here with this old Forte can, which is actually a pretty good solution, but it's just hanging there. So what I've done is I've put this M6 bolt on here with a nut, and I've drilled a hole in the end of the filter, and what I'm going to do is slide this onto there, and then hopefully get the nut down inside of that with an extension on it, screw that in, and then the filter will sit quite happily there and won't move. There we go, top quality induction kit fitted. That's now bolted to the slam panel. Obviously this is all nicely held together now, because if it was just there before it would just bang about, it would end up ripping a hole in the induction pipe there. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. That's tidy, that is. Okay, more progress. The exhaust is now clamped there and clamped here, and nothing's touching the handbrake cable or anything like that. Obviously the tailpipe is poking out at the wrong angle, but we'll just get Neil, my brother-in-law, Original Fabrications, to go and adjust that. He'll be able to do it much easier than what we would. That mud flaps, I'm going to touch that tyre, is it? Not to worry. Right, let's get it down and get it ticking over and stuff. The wings need bolted in place properly. The snowplough needs fitted properly on the front. We need to do the back seat bracket, the 60-40 split fold. But that's about it. It's very close to being as ready as it's ever going to be for an MOT. I'll fire it up. Check the lights and stuff. I'm not sure about a full set of lights. Put the lights on. Side lights. Headlights. Main beam. Aye, okay. Oh yeah, indicators, yep. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we've got a full complement of lights at the back. No, there's a bulb out in that one. That was a dodgy connection. Yeah, okay, we've got a brake light on one side. This one's not playing ball. Ow. Bulb is about to fall out. Got a suspected dodgy light connection, so we've just changed it over for this one. Yeah, definitely something up with that. Try the indicators and the fog light. Right, indicator one side good, indicator other side good. Fog light. Nah, try the reverse light, put it in reverse. It's in reverse, aye. Ain't got reverse. Nah, not got a reverse light. I thought I wired that in. I was going to charge the battery in the old Astra saloon. Well, Kenzo tells me he's taking my battery charger home again just after Christmas. He could have got one as a bloody present. We shall charge this up tomorrow and have a look maybe at the interior and stuff on it. I don't know. I need to do a shakedown on the Cavalier, so we shall see. Maybe get round to this, I don't know. Tie the wires up, that's alright. Right, plan is Kenzo's got a couple of bits to screw in and tiger seal like the rear spoiler and that. And all being well, we might get out and a run for it. Get the shelf in for underneath the dash. I'll go and cable tie the ECU to it so it's tidy. And there were a couple of, oh yeah, I need to check the fog light and the reversing light aren't working, but they were before. That's not a major issue, and this thing's going up on the ramps to give it a shakedown. It's done well over 2,000, probably coming up for 2,500 miles since it went back on the road now, so there's a bit of a noise coming for the back end, I don't know what it is. So there's that to check out. Just give it a once over and make sure it's okay. Wonder what this noise is at the back end. I know what we'll do first is just check for playing all the wheels, make sure we've not got a binding or anything like that. Check, see if I've got the bearings need a little tighten up again. I always need tweaking those. I noticed I've got a caliper that's slightly needing tightened up, that'll be helping. Exhaust's alright. Shockey's alright. I don't know what that noise is, but I'll get this bearing cheeked up again. Find out what my rattling noise is anyway. It's this caliper which I neglected to tighten up properly, so I shall go and do that now, and that will solve that, and tighten that bearing as well. That should be okay. Other than that, it looks pretty good underneath as far as I can tell. My task now is to check out what's happening with the lights. Now the fog light was working and it wasn't working last night. And if I go in here and check this switch when it's on, now if I check this fog light now, that's it off. And the thing is, it's working and it's lit up and everything, which it wasn't doing last night. There we go. Right, the multimeter prongs to sit. There we go, it's on. There we go. Definitely on. Off. And it's working at the back. Okay, we've got a fog light now. I think it's a fuse box. I think there's a load of loose connections in the back of it. Next up, reverse light. We're hunting for treasure. Or rather the screws that hold the door card on. Look at all this.
Minefield.
Nuts and bolts and all sorts of random crap.
Basically.
Accumulated over 20 odd years of mucking about with Vauxhalls. I found one. Found one. Bound to be more than one in here. Surely, there's quite a decent speed clip. Moral of the story, throw nothing away, ever. Oh, look at the treasures I found. Speed clips, exhaust springs, a scraper. Wonderful. Really pleased I dug that box out. Right, last bit of interior trim to go in the now is just the centre console. Just going to stuff that in so it supports the shelf under there. And then we'll take it out for a wee run. Just while it's still light.
You're free.
Wait here, I'm coming with me.
Just in case.
There's a good point actually, aye.
You can't just stop running the scheme like.
I'll not go far not like it, but we'll just see what happens now. We'll just see. Let's see. Good clutch in it anyway. Kenzo says he's not coming with me. I thought he would have wanted to go. Can you see anything out these mirrors? I'll have to adjust that mirror. Push that mirror in. Push the mirror in a wee bit. I've not got a... That's it. Aye, sound. That'll be first gear. That'll be first gear again. That's reverse. Okay, let's do this. Kenzo is staying back at the garage in case it breaks down. Hopefully everything's tight. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Brakes feel alright. Right, we'll switch this off now. Well, it was alright, I made it back. The main issue is I've not got the gears set up quite right, so I couldn't really get first very easily, so I'll have to go and tweak that. And we just had the oil pressure light coming on there and it goes out if you rev it. So I don't know, maybe the oil pressure relief valve's sticking, which it may well do with this engine having sat for so long. There's certainly no issue with it, it seems really responsive, there's no knocks or bangs. So see if I can tweak the gears and just give that... Probably check the pressure relief valve, that's the main suspect for when they behave like that. Okay, bit of gear linkage tweaking because it's got too much of a throw over to fifth, which means we can't get first or reverse easily. So it just needs a small amount of adjustment. Probably get it this tight. Because I was pulling away in third at the traffic lights, so stick it in first and just lift the clutch and see if it moves, because it'll not do it, and it'll not do it if it's in third. That's first. Try reverse. That's it, sus, like, that's okay, cool, cool. Just draining the oil out it, because it seemed to have rather a lot in it compared to what we put in. We realised it was running all that time with the Lambda sensor not connected, so it's obviously been overfuelling quite badly, and yeah, it's fired a whole load of petrol into the oil. So we'll drain this out, and then I'll go and check the oil pressure relief valve, which lives in there, just to be on the safe side, and we'll put some fresh oil on it. So our oil pressure relief valve lives in here, and they quite often stick, so it's got a spring behind it. So I hope that this doesn't go springing away when it comes out. But it's very common for Vauxhall engines, 8 valve and 16 valve with this vintage, to have issues with this. There we go, it's alright, that's a spring out now, so we can check inside that and make sure that the thing's moving inside it back and forth. It's alright, it's this little thing here that slides back and forth for the oil pressure, and it's okay, so that's good. Pop that back in, we'll get the fresh oil in it, and it should be, everything should be okay. Now it doesn't have like double the amount of oil in it, it should have. Yeah, just that can get stuck. Now I'm going to use this stuff which came in my bulk acquiring of oil in 2020. Part synthetic 1540. Just the job, 3.5 litres goes in these. I think about 6 litres came out the thing. Oh look, bit of mayo in the filler cap, lovely. So just where it's sitting about so much. Install the lubrication. I'm starving for dinner. Hopefully it should behave itself on fresh oil. Hey?
Don't you see it's down? See, but aye.
There's no light in the dash for oil pressure now, eh? That's fine.
Sounds sweeter. Much sweeter.
Good. Lucky it didn't run off on its own oil, I guess. Right. Right, that's it. That's the Nova pretty much done. The next instalment of this is it'll be going for its MOT, and then hopefully down to Berwick to go and get Pete's Nova. So we're really close to getting it finished off. So I just had to wait a little bit longer to put this video out, but we decided just to do a bit more on the car, so there's more, rather than leaving it kind of half done. So catch you next time.
Cheers.